What's going on, party people? So what I wanted to do, because I've done these in the past where I did trades involving Laker players now, try to get a better quality player and giving up draft picks and everything like that. But seeing as we've been through this a year or two where we've had Ingram around and Kuzma and Hart and Lonzo Ball, it just seems like the guys who are a bit older, Kuzma and Hart, are just automatically ready to play, and they seem untradeable at the moment, because if you were to trade them, you'd be really dumb. But it just seems like a guy like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, they're just taking a little bit longer to develop, and especially when it comes to playing with LeBron, it seems like they haven't been able to figure it out as quick as, say, Kuzma or Hart. So I'll go through these lists of guys who I believe can play with LeBron and be very productive when playing with LeBron, and definitely lead these guys, the Lakers, to a championship. And the type of trades involving certain players, it would be very logical. I'm not doing like a big time fantasy type of thing. I'm just definitely doing things that would seem logical, and you throw first round picks in, and if one of these teams bites, it'll be definitely worth it. But we'll see how this goes. Obviously this is not true, but I have nothing better to do right now. Okay, my first attempt at a blockbuster trade would be John Wall to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball, obviously because they're the same position, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and most likely a first-round pick. A team that's definitely struggling right now is the Washington Wizards. A few years ago, they were going deep into the playoffs with the same type of players and team that they had right now, but it just seems like it's going off the wheels. And definitely a few of these guys, to the top guys, I think can be traded, especially if you start off with a John Wall, just because I think LeBron needs a type of dynamic point guard like that who can score by himself, but a very good passer as well, and getting the offense going. So this way you have both, and you could trade him for Lonzo Ball because it's the same position. Throw in a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and a first-round pick, and that should be well enough for the Washington Wizards to think that's a good enough trade and like it. And they'll have to give up one player, and they get a future player, and two pretty young guys, especially one that's really young that they could look forward to in the future. Second attempt, same team for Washington Wizards, would be Bradley Beal to the Lakers for Brandon Ingram, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and most likely a first-round pick. Now, Bradley Beal, in my opinion, is the better guy to pick up, just because he could be really awesome when he's playing with LeBron and playing off of him, because he doesn't need to command the ball. But when John Wall was injured, he was able to even play point guard at times. But he's a great, stand-up shooter or off the ball screens, doing shots as well for three-point. And just to get him from the Washington Wizards for a Brandon Ingram, because it's similar position, because Ingram could play that with Otto Porter there in Washington, and then also a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and a first-round pick. And especially since Beal is going to be a free agent this next summer, you had definitely the ability to re-sign him for even more money if he's on your team this year. And plus, it's just that means Washington has not really like a good selling point, because it's not like the team they're going to trade him to, it's guaranteed that he's going to sign with them. But if it was with the Lakers and with LeBron, then he might actually re-sign, which would be really cool for us. Lakers attempt at another star, point guard Kemba Walker from the Charlotte Hornets to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball, the same position, or Brandon Ingram, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope will be involved as well, and most likely a first-round pick again. So how this would play out, I'm a big fan of Kemba Walker. He's another point guard. He plays point guard, but he's honestly a scoring type of player, so I definitely believe he can play like as a shooting guard on a team with LeBron. So either way, if he has to go play point when LeBron's out, or if he just has to stay in the corner or make points off the dribble himself, then he's a great enough player to do that. But if you were choosing the same position, you give up Lonzo Ball with KCP and a first-round pick, or the Hornets could choose between Lonzo Ball or Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram is from Charlotte in the North Carolina area, so it'd be a nice homecoming for him and a nice fresh start for him. But also still giving up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope if they went with Ingram and the first-round pick, and that should be plenty enough, because I believe Kemba Walker is one of these guys too who will be out on the free agency during the summer pretty soon. For Damian Lillard, it's trickier because how good he is, so Lakers will only get him back, but they would give up Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. No draft picks, or one Brandon Ingram or Lonzo Ball and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the first-round draft pick. And for Damian Lillard, it's a little bit trickier just because he is like a better souped-up version of Kemba Walker, in my opinion, but does play the point guard position as well, but is a very good scoring guard as well. So, I mean, doing this, you could either give up both Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, but no Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and not a first-round pick, maybe a second-round pick, just because of how much upside and talent those other two younger players will have compared to an older player like Lillard. But if you went with, say, one Lonzo Ball or one Ingram and adding a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and one first-round pick, then that's still a fair amount to trade for, and definitely something they would be interested in, just because you could have CJ McCollum or a few other people on the Portland Trail Blazers right now to play the point guard position. But if they have Lonzo Ball also, they could just make up for that as well and just keep their draft pick. But we'll see how that goes. That one's a little more interesting because you might have to give up a bit more. Lakers trade for Joe Ingles from Utah. Looks like a first-round pick for Brandon Ingram and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. This will also be part of a 3-team trade. Phoenix Suns giving TJ Warren to the Lakers. Lakers giving up Lonzo Ball. So this right here would be a 3-team trade. Utah would have to give up Joe Ingles, their forward, who's a really good shooter, which is what the Lakers need, really great three-point shooting. And since it's for Utah and they're already contending and he's one of their better players, then you'd have to give up like a Brandon Ingram, a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and even a first round for him, just to maybe even get Utah interested in this type of trade. But I think if you add the pick and those two type of players, then they might really be interested in that, and it could be possible. But then also getting another forward slash guard type of player in TJ Warren from the Phoenix Suns, who's a really good player, one of their better players in my opinion, who's able to score really easily and very well for them consistently, but he's just on a crappier team. So I think him either coming off the bench for the Lakers would be really good for them to have another offensive guy to come out and score points while LeBron is out on the bench. And you'd have to give up Lonzo Ball for him. I don't think there would be any other players or picks for him, maybe second round pick or and Ivica Zubac as well, but other than that, no first round picks for a guy like TJ Warren to the Suns. And the Suns have always struggled trying to find their main point guard, so a guy like, you know, Lonzo Ball going there playing with Booker and DeAndre Ayton and all those guys would be very beneficial to him. That's why I don't think the Lakers have to give up a lot for him, but it's definitely very interesting. This one seems pretty likely the last part of the trade, but not the first part, because you'd have to give up quite a bit for Joe Ingles, in my opinion. Another 3-team trade. Lakers get Nikola Vucevic from Orlando. Orlando receives Brandon Ingram and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Shouldn't be any draft picks. The other team they trade with for Luke Kennard from Detroit to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball. And one of these last trades I'll do is Nikola Vucevic from the Magic coming to the Lakers for a Brandon Ingram and a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I don't think you need to give up first round picks just because Pope and Brandon Ingram could eventually become better players in the future and help you right now more than Vucevic can. I just think Vucevic would be great with a guy like LeBron being able to pass it to him and him making 15, 17-foot jumpers and being able to rebound a bit as well on the defensive side, just to have more length and offensive ability is what they'll need. That's why they've kind of given up on Zubac right now, but they would also be a 3-team trade, so they would bring in Detroit and you get a shooter and a guard / forward in Luke Kennard from Detroit and give Detroit Lonzo Ball, because they definitely need some more help at the guard position, especially point guard, because Reggie Jackson is more of a scoring type of guy. Same thing with Ish Smith. And then having a guy like Lonzo Ball throwing up lobs to Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin would be great for the Eastern Conference. Not have to worry about them. They're not going to be that much trouble, but they would still benefit them to where I don't think you'd have to give up a first-round pick either, just maybe a second-round pick, and that's it. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. No, I'm not crazy. If you see me rocking back and forth in these past 2 videos, I'm just like on a little ball sitting on here to get a better seat. I don't want to bring a chair in to the room, but like I said, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. No, I'm not crazy, just a little bit.